my favorite quotes of his was, "We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools."
It's Monday. It's 4:47 in the morning. It's gonna be a good day. So it's about 6:45. This is a time where after breakfast, I read a little bit, relax, wake up. This is a time that I sit down and start working on my social media content for not only my accounts, but my team leader in real estate. I'm running her social media, her Instagram specifically. Generally just market updates about the real estate market here in Contra Costa County, and then I start making some calls. So got a little special thing for us today though. Really awesome, and I can't wait to share with you guys. It's been about an hour now that I've been doing these market research and stats, all that head stuff. You have to take a break. You have to take a break or you're going to go insane looking at all these numbers and trying to figure out what they mean and finding data supporting what you are seeing in the market as a realtor. Oh, and while I'm sitting here, it all of a sudden is pouring outside. It's also freezing cold. So a big part of my day is getting prepped for calls, either calls to prospective clients or clients of the team that we currently have. And right now I'm going to practice those calls with scripts. Now scripts are very important for any, I hate to say it, salesman or salesman type job or industry, because you need to know what you're going to say and what the common objections that you're hearing are right now. It's a necessity. You need to get business somehow, and especially during the shelter in place times with no open houses, limited communication and interaction with people in person. Calls and FaceTime and Zoom calls are vital to keeping your business going and having business down the road. So I'm gonna make a call right now with my script partner. He's on my team. His name's Matt, and we just like to get scripts going as soon as he answers. So I'll be the prospective real estate agent, and he'll be a client or a prospect that I'm contacting if he answers.
Hello, this is Matthew Hearn. I'm unavailable right now. Please.
Okay, so I want to talk about something today that is not real estate. It's not anything to do with the Bay Area market. Yes, you're going to see some of that stuff in there just because that's my day-to-day job and that's what I'm filming, my life, I guess. I interviewed one of my really best influential figures in my life so far, and it's weird because I spent about a year with him. You know, every day I would see him at our work, which was 24 Hour Fitness. Jerry Ford is a master trainer there in Burbank, California, and he's been a trainer for 12 years. He has like 12,000 hours of personal training experience under his belt. Not only that, but he has about 16 years of social work in Hawaii. He's had so much experience in social work and dealing with people. And it stems from his conversations that he's had with not only his parents and his father, who was a minister in Los Angeles County during the Civil Rights Movement, but also his personal conversations he had with Martin Luther King Jr. It's amazing what he's been through, and his stories that he shared with me when I interviewed him on my podcasts. If you want to check it out, link below. I don't want to be super promotional. I don't have a official setup, as you can see. I just have my apartment, and since it's pouring rain outside, I can't film this anywhere else, which is okay. The point of this video is to get this message across that, in essence, we are all in this situation together.
Martin Luther King broadened my concept of what the movement was about. It wasn't just about elevating African Americans. It was about elevating all of humanity. And he often talked about the connectedness, that we are all connected. So what happens to one happens to someone else. What happens to, say, a poor African American child in the Deep South is very much connected to what may happen to a very affluent Caucasian kid or an adult in the Pacific Northwest.
What he learned is that love is greater than hate.
There was no sense of violence or harm within Dr. King's consciousness. He said that love was a greater force than hate, that hate only begets more hate. And so if you act out of hatred, you're only going to inspire the other side to want to get back, and it goes on and it goes on. But love, he says, not only overcomes hate, it neutralizes it, and it makes others want what you have.
So you have love here and hate over here. And love, if you practice it and you continuously work at it, will always rise above hate. It will squash hate with all that it has because love always prevails. And I know this is going to sound, crazy, and some of you might think, oh, you're just a kid. What do you know about the world and what love and hate is? You're right. I may not have a lot of experience. That's the whole thing with this podcast. That's what I'm trying to do with these interviews, is learn from other people who have lived before me, because I think it's invaluable information. All right, so got a hold of Matt. We are doing scripts.
Hello?
Hello, this is Matthew.
This is him.
Hey, Matthew, this is Ryan Day from Keller Williams and the Angela Hearn team. What I learned from Jerry and his experiences was that we are all one human race. I knew that before, but it didn't put things into perspective. Hearing his stories and what he went through and what he learned from working with Martin Luther King and being around him as a teenager really opened my eyes to what we're going through right now. And it's not necessarily so much racism and bigotry of what he experienced and what was going on during the civil rights movement was horrible. But now we're living in a different time to where we're dealing with this pandemic. And all I see on social media, and it's very toxic, we have people on both sides of your political party, of whatever you believe in, and we have both sides hating.
In your opinion, looking back on those times we just talked about, comparing it to now, where are we?
We have made some strides forward. From the time I grew up, I've seen a lot of change. Unfortunately, I've also seen a lot of resentment toward that change. Still believe the races should be separate, that men are superior to women, that gays and lesbians are inferior, that other races are inferior. So I understand that we have come a long way. I very sadly have seen a lot of people who used to be oppressed, poor people, African Americans, and I can speak, I don't want to speak about others, but to me, one of the saddest things is when a group that has known oppression gets a taste of freedom, and then they oppress another group. I find that very disheartening, because if you've ever tasted oppression, it's something you would never, ever want anyone to experience. I think that, again, that has been the social inertia that has been going on for millennia. I'll take it back again to a concept that Martin Luther King took from Gandhi. I believe someone once asked Gandhi his views about human rights. And Gandhi actually said, and I may be paraphrasing here. He says, I don't believe in human rights. And the person was just taken aback. And he said, I don't believe in human rights. What I believe in is human responsibility. That each of us has a responsibility because we're here on this earth. We have a responsibility to not harm others. Again, it's that connectedness of life that Martin Luther King grasped, that as long as you think that you are superior, then that means someone or someone's have to be inferior. And that does not break the chain that reinforces the chain. Again, about ahimsa and nonviolence, it's a very deep thing. To think thoughts that are only positive, to criticize someone mentally means to send out vibrations or an energy of harm. So human responsibility means, how are my actions affecting my neighbors? If my actions are harming someone else, then I need to think about why I feel drawn to that action.
We can't live every day wanting to squash other people's opinions and views just because they're different from ours. We get nowhere in life because of that. That behavior can only yield more negativity in the world. And if you want to contribute to more negativity, then that's your prerogative. That's not mine. That's not what this channel is about, and that's not what I'm about as a person. And I know I have distributed negativity in my life. We all have, and I still am today, probably. But I'm trying to work on it and progress as a human and progress in my mind and how I think and treat other people. And I hope you are too.